Hey, Nation, Harry here. I'm feeling festive and put on a sort of tropical shirt. That's because I'm back with my main man, Howard Cohen. Howard, how are you doing today?
I'm dazzled by that shirt. Whoa.
There we go.
Wait, let me get my sunglasses instead.
There we go. Good man, good man. Oh, look at that with the
Oh,
wraparounds. Oh, I
much,
like it.
much better.
I like it. So, for those audience members that don't know, Howard has the column, The Evolving MSP, over at Redmond Channel Partner Magazine. You've had a long relationship with them. And recently, you wrote about some change over at the Microsoft Partner Program, and that was at executive level changes. And that was interesting because, Howard, I'm used to typically seeing those changes occur in early July at what used to be the Worldwide Partner Conference and the beginning of the fiscal year. That's when Allison Watson stepped down the year it was in DC. So I'm used to a particular cadence around mid-year in the new fiscal, but this would have been Q4 for their current fiscal year. So the question's very simple. What's going on over there with the executive team?
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows, Harry. And I've been trying to figure it out for quite some time. Obviously, when a while back, there was a huge exodus. I'm talking about several years ago.
Yeah,
There was a
there was.
huge exodus of talented people out of the organization. That was unfortunate. And a lot of good friends actually found themselves in much more entrepreneurial careers.
It's a
Yeah,
nice way to put
it's
it.
the way it happens. Allison, in particular, was an interesting transition. What they did was they gave Allison John Roskill's job. They gave
Correct.
John Roskill Allison's job, and they told both of them they'd just gotten a promotion.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that works, but John was an interesting channel chief in his time. More recently, we've seen Phil Sorgen leave
yep,
and become CRO at Ring Central. We've seen Eric Martorano leave
yep,
and become CRO at Nextiva. It's interesting that several of the maybe second tier executives,
yep.
although they're still, high up in the food chain, they're moving over into the telecom channel to some extent, or at least
Huh.
the UCAS, the
Yeah, that is
UCAS
it.
channel.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And I'm not sure, what that means, but both of them seem to be thriving.
Yeah.
Um, uh, David Willis was a different story altogether. Dave had been there for 28 years.
Okay.
And I think that he was reaching that place where he wanted to do something else. In my
Amen.
conversation with him, I talked about the fact that he wasn't exactly sure what he was doing, other than showing up on some people's boards, which was interesting. He's serving on the board of several different companies now. Um, and Tyler, of course, came in to replace him. Gavriella is even a more interesting departure.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
Gavriella Schuster. Yep.
Yep. Um, Usually they did just before Inspire or the Worldwide Partner Conference make that change, blah, and whatever. Gabrielle is not leaving until mid to late July. She's seeing out this quarter, and she's leading the charge this quarter. And I think it's the smartest thing they've ever done, giving her a chance to hand off to Rodney Clark and convey information to him and transit the whole operation to him. I said this in the article or somewhere recently that people think, oh my God, Gavriella Schuster's leaving the channel chief role. When Allison left, she was in the role for 8 years, and people thought she had way overstayed her time in that role.
Okay.
Gavriella's been in it for over 7.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it'd been that
Yeah.
long. Good Lord.
Yep. And I think a lot of people didn't realize. I didn't realize that until I took a look at the dates. But I think that this is something they try to cycle on a fairly frequent basis to bring new ideas and fresh energy and whatnot. I don't think there's anything negative about this.
Yeah.
When Jenny Flinders left, everybody was shocked. A lot of those people moved on to great opportunities,
Yeah.
and they've all, certainly landed extremely, extremely well. I think the culture at Microsoft is definitely changing. Personally, this is just HMC talking and nobody else. I think slowly but surely, Microsoft is making that sea change away from the channel. I think the channel's role with Microsoft is changing. I think Microsoft realizes that transactional partners are not as important as they used to be. They don't need the transaction as much as they need the business. Now, that's been true for decades. They recognize that if somebody influences a Microsoft-based project, that's great. That's all they could ask for.
Yeah.
And they have always promoted that. They have always supported that. They've always fallen over themselves to help partners with that. I think at this point, we're going to see finally the point in time when the transaction's not the issue. The project is. And that's, to me, that's good, because that speaks to the partner's intellectual property. If the partner brings great intellectual property to the mix, then that's a great partner. That's a partner we want to talk to. Which is why I've said that ISVs have become the partner of choice.
Yeah, it's
as
changed.
Infrastructure partners have gone away.
Yeah, two final thoughts. One is two insiders who obviously I wouldn't name, but well over a decade ago, they said in their own way, but they said, in 20 years, there may not be a Microsoft partner program. And I kind of scratched my head at the time. And so the storytelling you're doing, it brings back some of those thoughts. Now, times change and the partners change and the motion changes. So that might have been going a little bit too far, but that little bit of food for thought. And then finally, Howard, any word on the street where Gavriella is going to end up? Stay inside Microsoft? When the announcement came down, it wasn't very clear what she's going to do.
I have asked her that question, and she's not prepared to answer it.
Yeah.
With her in July to talk more about it. I don't know that I'll get that information then.
Yeah.
As with Sorgen and Martorano and Jenny, each one of them, and Dave Willis, I think that they are entertaining multiple opportunities.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Yeah.
And I don't think any of them made the decision before they left. I think they took the time to make the best decision for themselves and for the industry. And I celebrate that. I think that's great. So.
All right, Howard, well, we'll end on a high note. We'll see you next month. Thanks for being one of our analysts and keeping it real. Keep up the good work.
Good to see you, Harry.
Right.
Good to see you, but a little blunt.
All right. And thanks to Jennifer Hallmark over in the radio control room. Folks, we're over and out.
Okay, bye now.